So what's up? So I brought this girl over to Tony's once she hit 1,000 grams, and she's been over here just a little while now. Look how thick she is. This is a thick girl. This is my thick trick, Het Desert Ghost. She is going to be paired, what'd you pair her to, Tony?
So we paired to Cypress, Pinstripe,
Yeah.
OD, Inchy, Desert Ghost, Het Hypo Male.
So you did the same pairing with your Blitz that you had.
Yep.
So we have the Blitz stuff, and now we're going to see what the trick stuff is going to look like. And obviously, if I had any of that, other junk, I would see what it would turn out to be.
So this is one of the Blitz that we made from that male last year. So this is Het Desert Ghost. My Blitz female isn't Het DG. So hopefully we make some similar snakes to this.
But in DG.
But tricks instead of Blitz, which
That's right.
probably the same thing.
It's Ford Lincoln Mercury. It's all the same.
But hopefully we make the visual DGs from this girl.
So just wanted to give y'all an update on what's going on with some of Craig's clutches over here.
We'll also mention that that trick Het DG girl's at 30-something millimeter follicles. So
She's ready.
about to ovulate.
So we showed you a big snake. Now we're going to show you some small snakes.
So we're adding another species, and this kind of just fell into our lap. A local-ish person offered up a trade for some colubrids for some of our geckos.
Okay.
And I wasn't interested, but while I was looking over what she had available, I ran across something that I used to have, because I used to have a lot of things,
Right.
and kind of sold them and kind of regret doing it. And she had some of these available, so we made a trade for some geckos for some
of these.
more pythons.
Interesting. And
So-
these are tiny like earthworms.
So
These are earthworm gems?
these are the smallest species of pythons that exist.
Look at that.
These are children's pythons or Stimson pythons.
Simpsons.
Stimsons.
Barney Stimson. Y'all know who that is. Some of y'all will know who that is. And that's How I Met Your Mother.
So this species, actually, before we get into where the species from, this is a year old.
It's so stinking cool.
So this is the male. We got a 1.2. I really like this male.
What do you feed something this size?
Pinkies.
Okay.
Mice pinkies.
So little mice pinkies? Okay.
These guys do tend to have a little bit of an attitude. They will bite.
Tiny but ferocious, like
Yep.
Cassie.
But the mouth and teeth are so small that they can't even break the skin.
That's
at this
hilarious.
size. So I would say, and I'm not 100% on this, but the males usually only get about 2 foot, so about twice this size.
Okay.
And females are going to be around that 4 foot range.
And
So-
still nice and slender.
Very nice and slender. It's very similar to like a carpet python looking, just much, much smaller scale. So really cool little species. Something a little bit different than what you see.
So now we own the largest breed of python and the smallest breed of python.
Yep. So we have retics, and then we have Stimsons. So the Stimson python, they used to be 2 different species. Children's pythons, Stimson pythons were 2 different species.
Okay.
Recently, from what I understand, that they've just put them together. So they say that they're now just the same species. So
I think they just came from different locations or something.
I really don't know.
Need to do my research on these things.
Yeah, I'm not good. I'm not the locale guy. Even
Right.
with the retics and other species, like locality stuff is something that's new to me.
I mean, everything we got is just west side of the Ogeechee. We get it.
Right.
That's how it goes.
So, all right, let me grab the females
That's so
and give you a little
cool.
bit more information on these things. All right, so this is one of the girls. And you can see they're very similar. Pattern's a little bit different.
Mm-hmm.
The male tends to be like a copper color. Looks real good in the sunshine. This one's pattern's a slightly different, color slightly a little bit different. They don't have any, well, I'm not going to say they don't. I am not aware of any genetic mutations like albino or pod or hypo or anything along those lines.
They're probably out there somewhere.
I'm sure they exist. Somebody's probably got them, but I have not seen them. Although I would like to have them.
Dude, it's so tiny.
Yep, super tiny.
You could just keep it on your desk. I might have to get one of these from my office. It's gonna be my office snake. Look at that thing.
So really cool species. This species is from Australia, and this is almost like their rat snake.
Really?
So they're plentiful over there, and they eat little.
And they call them children's pythons because even a child can. Yeah, that's hilarious.
So you know, they eat whatever they can find and fit in their mouth, pretty much. Small birds, rodents, frogs, eggs.
Probably them big old spiders they got out there.
So
Look at that.
you know, in Australia, everything eats each other.
Yeah,
So-
it does. They do have a bad mice population out there too, so these little jokers are good for that.
All right, this girl is a little bit more feisty than the other two. So she's already tried to pop me. She's also a little bit bigger. Again, pattern's a little bit different. Yep, see her raising up. This is the typical attitude.
There we go. I like you. You're feisty.
Yep, they're pretty feisty little animals. So they're kind of like the sand boas. When they bite you, it doesn't really affect you.
No, sambos are derpy.
So-
That's what I love about them.
Something you really want to do with this species, though, is work with them. You don't want to just stick them in a rack and forget about them. You want to work with these species because when they do get, 2, 3, 4 foot, they can do some damage with them teeth.
That's
So-
right.
But anyway,
Blowing up.
as far as expenses, these are, they're super, scared me.
I love it.
So-
I love it.
Chill out. So this is more of the typical attitude what I was telling
Yeah.
you about. But the expenses on these animals are, a very small tub, very small meal, so they're not super expensive to keep
Okay.
and raise and house. They lay anywhere between 5 to 15 eggs once a year,
What's the price on something like this?
and that's exactly what I was
Yeah.
fixing to get to next. I would say these are going to range anywhere from $150 to $300.
That's
So-
not bad for a cute little tiny thing.
It would be nice to know that there's some genetic mutations out there, and of course, those would be expensive or more expensive
Yeah,
than
absolutely.
just the plain ones. So,
But for just if you're just looking to have like a cool little snake and like watch it grow, it's like a puppy.
Yep.
This thing's so cool.
And as y'all can tell, they
Oh, she's feisty.
feisty, but I let her bite me
Oh, yeah, she
just
got
so you can see that there's literally zero damage.
You think that she was scared of the snake on your hand, and that's why
Maybe so. So,
she wants you.
but anyway, cool little species. We're gonna raise these up and put them in the breeding rotation here in the next couple of years. So it's crazy to think this is already a year old.
I know that. That's insane.
So pretty excited about these. Appreciate y'all watching. Like, subscribe, do all that funky stuff on YouTube, and see you next time.